Hi, everybody. This week we are going to jump into how to draw better. We're going to go into some of the details of that. So, we're going to go in our sketchbook and do our daily drawing practice for the day. We're going to write up here space because space is the element that we're going to focus on this week. So, I'm on a new page in my sketchbook. New page right at the top so that I can go over some of my new concepts for the week. We've got some videos on the assignment posted today so that you can see in detail some more things about how to understand space in your drawings. So a lot of you are asking how to get better at your drawing. And how to make things look more believable. So how do we do that in our drawings and make things look right? So we know we're drawing on a flat piece of paper. We know that. But what we're looking at a lot of times is three-dimensional. So how do we draw something that's three-dimensional and draw it onto our flat paper, but to help make it look more believable? Drawing one thing, like maybe one cup, might be easy. We can do one cup and we can make it look like a cup sitting on a table, but it might be harder to do two. It might be harder to do a cup and a bowl and a spoon and a plate all sitting on one table and make them look believable. How do you make the plate look like it's the right size compared to the cup? These are all things that maybe you haven't thought about before when you've been doing your drawings, but really these are all things that need to be considered to make a believable drawing. So what we need to consider is space and how these objects relate to each other. So this is kind of a little bit of a stretch. So for you, this is probably new concept. So let's really concentrate and watch those other videos on space and see how that you can add these to your drawings, these elements to your drawings to make them look more believable. So the things that I want you to remember about space is that this is the area in which an artwork is organized. I'll move that over, organized. Okay, an area in which your artwork is organized. So say this is your paper and you're drawing a landscape. Seen from outside is a landscape. And I want my grass area, and then I want maybe a tree. Have a tree going on in the corner. But I want to make it look like there's a hill in the background, maybe another hill, and then the sun rising in the background. So the way that I have overlapped and layered these items in my drawing makes this look like it's taking up space. It looks like it gives the illusion that there is space in this flat two-dimensional drawing. Okay, so that's another thing that we're going to be focusing on this week. So just getting started today, what kind of things do I want you to keep in mind here? Scale. Scale is one thing that is something you need to know about. Scale is the size. Scale means size. So how big or small something is in your drawing. Okay, so the scale of this tree is how big this is in your drawing. Okay, and then proportion, and I know you've heard this word before. We just need to kind of explain it a little more simply, and this is just how the parts relate to the whole. So a lot of you guys probably have heard this when you're talking about drawing faces. Proportions, you want to get your proportions right. You want to make sure that your eyes are in the right spot on the face. So for example, if you're drawing a face, and I'm going to do just a really sketchy face here. And then I want to make sure that my eyes make sense right here, kind of in the middle. And then I've got my nose, and then I've got my mouth. But if I were to do the mouth, maybe if I were to do another face, and I were to do the mouth up here, and the nose here, and the eyes down here, that's not in proportion, okay? If I were to do another face, and I made the eyes way up here, that wouldn't be in proportion because then I don't have room for a forehead. Okay, so not in proportion. These are correct proportions. So how the parts of the face relate to the whole face. This also could be how the parts of your drawing relate to the whole scene you're trying to draw. So today what I want you guys to do is set up 2 cups, just everyday drinking cups. I want you to set them up. Here's a picture of mine. I want you to set up 2 cups so that 1 cup is in front of the other one, and you're going to practice overlapping that drawing. Okay, so I just want you to see if you can draw one to look like it's in front of the other. So I've got on mine, I've got the table. So let's just go ahead and do the table line, knowing that I'm going to erase where my cups are here in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to try to get them in the right spot on the table. Okay. So remember, we've kind of, the cups are really similar to those cylinders that we did last week. Okay, I want to make sure that the 1 cup, even though my 2 cups are the same size, the one in the back is smaller. It looks smaller because it's farther away. Okay, so this cup, it looks smaller because it's farther away, but in reality, it's the same size. So that's what we're talking about proportion and scale. Okay, so I've got my 1 cup, and I've got it, mine are a little bit leaning because I'm leaned over to the side here. Let me straighten out my lines. It can just be really simple drawing, and if you want to do more, obviously you're welcome to do more. I just want you to get the feel of how do you place one object in front of another. Okay, we're looking at, these are about the same size in real life, but when I'm drawing them, I have to make the one smaller to make it look believable, to make it look like it's behind the other one. Okay, and it can be just as simple as that. You can do some shading or extra lines if you want to, but I just want you to try to get the size right, the scale, and the proportion. Okay, so happy drawing, and we will add to this lesson tomorrow. Bye, guys.